I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
Just
I'm
win,
a
baby.
player, a boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Cause I'm a player, boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Real Raiders podcast. This is Mari Mars with my co-host.
The frozen one. You know
Yeah, that's right. I'm the co-host. He's actually the host.
Hey, we're equal. We're equal. You know
Counterparts.
Counterparts.
Peers.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to call it. Counterparts. Diehards. Whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we got a few different segments for you guys. We're going to do news and notes of the past 2 weeks because we took a little hiatus.
It's been a long 2 weeks, man, but it's been an interesting one.
2 weeks, and then obviously we have to give you guys our opinions of the draft, and maybe we'll do a spur of the moment grade overall, and maybe we can even grade the individual picks. So yeah, go ahead and kick us off, Vic. What you got for us?
Definitely. So the first note is, so the Raiders players, they all came together. They made a vote, right? And they agreed not to attend the OTAs this season. So what that means is all the off-season workouts that are voluntary, they all chose not to come. And basically they're only doing the stuff that they have to and not the stuff that's like for developing younger players or like, you know, just basically getting that work in is what it comes down to. However, I don't know if you guys keep up with NFL news in general, but the offensive tackle from the Denver Broncos, Jawan James, he just lost $10 million off of his contract because he got injured working off-site from the team facility. So that's something that the players weren't accounting for when they all agreed to this union shit. But according to, say the name for me because I always have trouble saying,
Vinny Bonsignore.
Vinny Bonsignore. He says that Raiders players fill the parking lot every day and they're working at the facility. So that's a good sign. I like seeing that our team is in the facility getting that work in, man. That's dedication, you know what I'm saying? Especially those young players that need to be in there, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we know that the offense did that last season and they came out and they were a top 10 offense. So I love the work that they're getting in, and hopefully Kenyon Drake's out there doing their thing and getting acclimated, because I honestly believe he's going to be a vital part of this offense this season.
Most definitely. Hit him with the next one, Mariano.
The next one is Casey Hayward.
Yes, sir.
We had talked about this thing for quite a while. When free agency first was open. That was one of my top guys, as well as Vic's too.
Yeah, he's on our big board for sure. We needed that veteran leadership, and he filled that mold. I
love it. And Jeff Heath was a casualty of that move.
Yeah.
Right?
Also on top, you know, the draft, how the draft turned out, which we're going to touch in a little bit. But of course, we added so many safeties into the room that Jeff Heath, you know, a solid player. He did play well for us last season, an amazing special teams player as well. Unfortunately, you know, got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, I would have loved for them to keep him, honestly, just because in that safety room, there's not very much experience. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's necessarily a starting caliber safety in this league.
No,
he's a solid, you know, backup and come in and make a few plays here and there. And I mean, he did lead the team in interceptions last year, so. He's a solid player, don't get me wrong.
Solid death piece that will probably be missed.
Yeah, he will definitely be missed. But at the end of the day, we're hoping these rookie safeties can come out and ball. And I got a favorite for you guys, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Moving on to the next news, we have a couple players that have been tied into us. A lot of trade rumors going on right now. One of the big ones is Aaron out in Green Bay. Apparently, he's frustrated with the Green Bay front office. So it's basically three teams, 49ers, Raiders. I forgot the other team that was tied to him, but we're one of the three teams that's tied to him.
That he would be open to going to. Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos is the other team. Correct. So, I mean, I feel like even if we're not tied, even if we're not really going to get him and the Broncos are going to get him, we got to drive up that price. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want I mean, I'm not scared of no Broncos, but I don't want Aaron Rodgers, over there.
In the division, we already dealt with Peyton Manning in the division.
Mm-hmm.
We already got Mahomes. That's enough. I'm okay. Yeah. And honestly, as far as A-Rod goes, I don't want him. It's going to cost too much.
Yeah. We got Derek Carr, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you really think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to pick up John Gruden's offense overnight? Because I don't. Even though he's a hell of a quarterback, he's probably one of the brightest people running Jeopardy and whatever the hell he does in his spare time, right? But at the same time, Derek Carr is an extension of John Gruden on the football field right now.
Yeah.
You hear the checks every game, especially with there not being any fans in the stadium. You can hear all the checks in the game.
He's
talking about Cindy Gruden, Blue 42, say that. You know what I mean?
And he's executing that offense, man. He got them rocking and rolling, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely like Derek Carr, top 10 quarterback. I don't see the need to give away so many picks and Derek Carr and who else, whatever. No. I'd rather keep Derek Carr. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, but you're putting too much on the line when Derek Carr isn't the problem, basically. That's what we've been talking about since, like, the first episode we talked about this, right?
And my pops used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Straight up.
All right, Mariano, hit him about the next one rumor.
The next rumor is Julio Jones. Right? I'm not a big fan of this one either. He's on the back end of his career. I don't think he's played a full season for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the back half. He's kind of like a diva. From what I've heard is that he only practices when he wants to and that type of stuff, which he's a phenomenal talent. He has been since he stepped foot on the gridiron.
Yeah.
But that's not really where I would like the Raiders to go. And it's obvious. I mean, it's kind of hard because I think Gruden's infatuated with the offensive side of the ball, obviously, and he wants all the weapons as possible. But it's very obvious in the direction that the Raiders went this offseason. They're looking for a speedy, quick twitch type receivers, right? And Julio's just not that. He's just a little longer in the tooth. I get it. But so funny, man. Longer in the tooth, man. But yeah, I'm not with that at all. I would just leave that alone. That's just me.
The only way I wouldn't mind getting Julio is if we get him for like what we paid for Antonio Brown, like a 5th round pick or something. And it's cool, but like paying
third and a 5th.
Yeah, something like that. But like, paying hella for Julio Jones, who's obviously on the decline, I'm cool off of that.
And he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And all the fucking people we signed this offseason, the money's a little tight right now.
Wearing thin.
All right, Mariano, let's get down to business. Let's get down to what this episode is all about.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about the draft from picks 1st round to 5th round. We stopped at 5th round, right?
7th. Oh, no.
No.
Or 7th.
We have 1 7th round pick.
We got a 7th.
Yeah. So it's from picks from the 1st to the 7th round. We're going to get started. Mariano, who was our first pick? I know you guys know, but we're just going to introduce him right here, right now.
Yeah, so this was probably the biggest head scratcher of the draft. No one anticipated this coming, which we kind of touched on in the previous episode before the draft. We knew that this was going to happen.
Some surprise-ass pick.
Yeah, which it was Alex Leatherwood. Now, obviously, when they split the draft up amongst 3 days, right? So you have to let that first pick kind of marinate in your head overnight. And Vic and I were texting each other like, whiffed it, right? Whiffed it.
That's all I texted Mariano, whiffed it.
Yeah, but the more you kind of dive into it, is he's the best run blocking tackle in the draft this year, which obviously this is where our offense is headed, right? We got a 2-headed monster now. We're going to run the damn rock. Simple as that. I have grown more and more to like it each day that's gone by. So all in all, I like it, man. I follow Baldy on Instagram.
Not familiar with him, sorry.
You're not familiar? Dude with the cricket finger. He used to be on NFL Network. Brian Baldinger.
Oh, okay.
Brian Baldinger. He was breaking down some tape of Alex Leatherwood, and he's got all the tools that he needs, right? And he's aggressive in the run game. So, yeah, hit him with the 2nd pick. That way we can kind of keep it moving.
Just want to touch a little bit on Alex Leatherwood. He has, like you said, he's the Tom Cable typical tackle. He has all the tools that Tom Cable wants.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, reports are coming out that he wouldn't have made it out of the first round anyways.
Right.
So Ravens were a team that was looking heavily into him. So
because they're running.
Exactly.
offense.
Yeah, they run the ball a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Christian Darsaw was on the board too. I would have loved that pick, but I'm not mad with having the best run blocker too.
Exactly.
It's not a bad pick. Once you let it settle in and you get all the facts and everything about him, it's really not a bad pick. We're just used to getting the pick right at the whoever's in the vicinity.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because he's going to be a first-round pick at this point.
Yeah, and no one really knows, right? I mean, what is Daniel? I mean, don't get me wrong. Daniel Jeremiah is in the position for a reason, but what does he really know? I mean, we don't know how any of these players are going to turn out, and majority of the first-round picks never pan out anyway. So the Raiders got their guy, and really, I think it was a solid pick.
Yeah, definitely. Going to have both of the sides anchored for years to come now, and that's great. So we're going to move on to the second pick, and we got Trayvon Moehrig out of TCU, the number 1 ranked safety in the class, man. We traded down with San Francisco. We made a bold move because Dallas was trying to jump in front of us. They were trying to steal him. So we had to go up to San Francisco and be like, yo, we got the 4th for you. They gave it to us, and we landed our guy, man. There were reports that some teams were turned off because of some back injury or something. They saw some tape on his back, but I don't care about none of that. He's going to be fine, man. I'm not worried about it. This man is solid, and he's going to hold down that free safety position for us. And the kid's an excellent player. I love this pick. This is a A+ pick for me. I love it.
Day 1 starter.
For sure.
Day 1 starter. They hit the nail on the head with the first 2 picks. I mean, the whole goal of the draft, at least the first 2 rounds, is that you want to draft players that are ready to play now.
Exactly.
Mike Mayock already stated that Leatherwood's going to be our starting right tackle. Done. Cross that off the list. It's done, right? Depth chart is pretty much set now, as well as Trayvon Moehrig. Trayvon's going to be a starter day 1, right? And we're going to see what he's got. But again, still not my favorite pick of the draft. We'll get to that a little later. The next one, for the 3rd round pick, 79th overall, the Raiders drafted Malcolm Kuntz, right? Out of a familiar college that we know.
Buffalo.
Right? Buffalo, right? So, I kind of touched on this before. I said in the previous episode before the draft even hit that I would love the Raiders to draft another pass rusher, which is exactly what they did. Now, another little snippet that I had seen over this past week is that this is the first time in Raiders draft history that we did not draft an offensive skilled player, right? That's kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's wild, right? We've always drafted the fastest wide receiver courtesy of the late great Al Davis.
But previously, before this, we talked about this has to be defense, this draft, and they nailed it right on the head.
And that's what they did, right?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
100%, man. 100%.
Back on Malcolm Kuntz, though, we got a little sidetracked there. Malcolm Kuntz has Mike Mayock compared him to Yannick and Max. He's like a bendy player. He'll get around you, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, he's a perfect player for our system because he already has 2 great people to learn off of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if he could develop, and he already has the tools, according to Mayock, to be a player like Max or Yannick, then I love it. I love the pick. He's perfect for our system, for sure.
Yeah, as long as he's more productive than Arden Key, then this is a win. No, this is a win.
Yeah,
seriously,
if he can pick up that Benson Mayock role, come in for 7-8 sacks on the season,
dude,
love it.
Steal.
Love it.
Steal.
Let's go on to the next one. Pick 80 in round 3. We have Divine Diablo coming out of this Virginia Tech. Divine Diablo is the safety. He's a bigger safety, right?
Right.
Can play in the box. He's going to be used in the box, is what they're saying.
As a linebacker.
A linebacker, yeah. Weak side linebacker is what they're trying to do. So the reason I love this pick, mainly because he has speed.
He's got a sick name.
That's a dope ass jersey. I'm not gonna lie. He has speed for his size, bro, and he's going to be able to cover the people like the Travis Kelce's and the what's the tight end from the Denver Broncos we got to face twice?
Noah Fant.
Those motherfuckers. People like that, you know what I'm saying? And we've been needing that, man. You know, that's an obvious weakness in our team.
Yeah.
So hopefully he comes in and fills that role. I like the way he plays. He plays aggressive. He's a fast, big safety. He's going to play most of the linebacker for us. Just be aware, you guys. So I love this pick. I'm going to let Mariano get this pick. This is his love of this draft. So
yeah, this is my favorite pick of the draft, of the Raiders draft anyway. And it's Tyree Gillespie, right? Out of Missouri. I don't know if you guys have watched tape on this dude yet, but I'll tell you what, man, he looks like a baller, right? He's a height, weight, speed type safety. Maybe he's a little raw from what a few things that I've read, but when you turn on the tape, he just pops. He looks a lot faster than everyone else on the field, and I think that's going to translate a lot to the NFL game. But I mean, obviously, only time will tell, right? But for me, this was my favorite pick after I had started watching a couple clips of him.
Yeah, I mean, with Gus Bradley, you know, what he's done with safeties in the past. And like you said, I feel like this is a steal in round 4, to be honest. He has like all the intangibles to be a great safety in the league. I love this pick just as much as you love it. We were just watching film on him before we started this episode. You know, I hope he could also play the slot, is what we heard too. Some of the tidbits that came out on him throughout the draft. I love it, man. If you know him, we have him, Morig, and Abram holding down the safety spot for years. I love it.
Yeah, I'm with it 100%.
So let's go on to round 5, pick 167. We have Nate Hobbs, man. So he's coming out. What school is he coming out? I forgot.
Just a dog, man.
What school? Give me the school. I forgot.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Illinois. That's what it is. Oh my God, it was on the freaking. I knew what it was, but I forgot it. But he's coming out of Illinois, so he's a prospect. Basically, a lot of people said we reached on this one too. It's whatever, dude. It's a late round prospect. Reaching at this point is like, you know, but
he's an underdog.
He's an underdog. He said you guys are not going to regret this pick. As soon as he got drafted by us, you guys are not going to regret this pick.
I like that attitude.
I love that, man. You come in here, you're ready to work. And he had an amazing combine. Don't know his numbers, but he had an amazing combine. And he has all the intangibles to be a cornerback in Gus Bradley's system. So, you know.
Gillespie ran a 4.43, by the way. Woo. That's fast for a safety.
That boy fast.
Safeties are typically a little slower. You know, a solid time for safeties around a 4.5, but if you run a 4.43, that's solid, man. So that explains why. And another thing, too, while we were watching the tape on Gillespie, sorry to get sidetracked.
He just loves him so much.
I love him, man. He's a height, weight, speed type dude. 35 and a half inch vertical. He's only 5'11", but I'm telling you, when you turn on the film, you can see the speed jump out, right? Which means it's not just a straight line speed. His 4.43 translates to game speed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which doesn't always happen. You may run fast in a straight line, but do you play fast? And there is a difference between the two. So, sorry about that, baby.
Sorry, Nate Hobbs.
My bad. No, but at the same time, too, I do like Nate Hobbs, right? I believe he's got good size for a corner. Let's double check the specs right now.
Look, specs real quick.
Specs.
Yeah, but like I was saying, he has the intangibles to be a good corner in Gus Bradley's system, and he has the coach that will develop him. So I feel like he landed in the right spot. Mariano's going to pull up tidbits right here on Nate Hobbs for you guys.
Yeah. So Nate Hobbs is 5'11", 192 pounds. Let's take a look. He was a 3-star recruit, which, you know, coming out of high school, these 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Not when you get to the league. Obviously, he made it to the league, so he's got to be doing something right. Let's see if we can find his 40. If he ran one. I thought he had a little more size than that, man. 5'11", huh?
All right, Mario's going to get back to that. We're going to go to our last pick in round 7. Oh, you got it now?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Round 7, pick 230. We have Jimmy Morrissey. He's a center coming out of Pittsburgh, I believe.
Pittsburgh. 4.38.
Nate Hobbs ran a 4.38, you guys. So that's pretty fast.
That's very fast.
Pretty fast.
Hey, did you see Mike Vick ran a 4.7?
I did. I saw that thing.
At 40 years old,
yeah,
man.
It's crazy.
Talk about genetics.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Going on to our round 7 picks. 230, we keep on going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jimmy Morrissey, right? Center out of Pittsburgh. Round 7, you're a late round prospect. You have a slimmer chance of making the team, but I think you fell into the right place. Even if you get put on the practice squad, you have Tom Cable as your O-line coach, and he's one of the best O-line coaches in the league, hands down. So to develop your game, even if you don't play for us, for the next team, whatever it is, I think he fell in a great spot for us. And if he could give us competition with the other centers that we have, because that's not solidified, although we did pay Andre James so-and-so amount of money.
Yeah. In years past, I mean, pretty much all Raiders draft picks make the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just looking at history, right? I can't remember the last time that a Raiders draft pick got cut the year that they were drafted. So I think it's been a little while, if my memory stands correct. But all in all, man, I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast before, is that football is won in the trenches, and they've definitely shored up the trenches this offseason. We knew that back end was a problem on the defensive side of the ball, as well as the pass rush, which they addressed all of it, right? So I'm a little curious to see how Casey Hayward pans out with the Raiders, kind of switching gears. But
So what a lot of people think he's going to play on the inside, but according to Sanjeet, if you guys don't follow Sanjeet on YouTube, make sure you follow him. He breaks down so much film.
Hell of a follow, man.
Analyzes all the players. He's amazing. According to Sanjeet, he played 700 snaps on the outside.
Right.
So that means Arnett could be moving to the inside.
Right.
So just be aware of that. Just don't.
Another thing too, man. In order to play slot, you really have to have speed. Right?
Yeah.
That was an issue with LaMarcus Joyner last year. Is that LaMarcus Joyner is getting up there. And I don't think he necessarily has the foot speed to run on these deep crossing routes, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where they were dogging him every single week, was a deep crossing route.
Yeah.
And he just can't keep up with these youngsters no more. You know what I mean? So I think that whoever runs at the slot, whether it's Hayward, I don't know if Hayward can keep up like that anymore either.
Yeah.
You got to have one of these young bucks that could really fly around.
Even if Arnett does play in the slot for however long Casey Hayward's tenure is with us, at least he's learning under Casey Hayward, and he could be more versatile when he does have to go back to the outside.
Yeah, bottom line is we have to get that position resolved, because we haven't had a solid slot corner in 20 years.
Yep. That's facts.
They have to get that resolved, 100%.
But definitely the addition of Casey Hayward is huge to our cornerback room. Especially, we have such a young cornerback room. So I love it. I love the signing.
100%.
Now, Mariano, what would you give this draft grade that we keep on getting sidetracked? We're always going to be back and forth. Sorry. Side topics, everything. But what would you give this draft grade?
I'd probably go with a B. Right.
Solid.
Maybe B-. And it's mostly just how they started the draft. But at the same time, I've grown I've grown towards the decisions that they've made. And unlike a lot of Raider fans, is I actually have trust in John Gruden and Mike Mayock.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff takes time, man. You know, I know that 3 years in the NFL is an eternity. It is. You know, it stands for not for long.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like the Raiders were making the playoffs consistently year in and year out when John Gruden got in, right? Jack Del Rio took them to the playoffs one time. He was 1 year removed when he got fired, and the Raiders ended the season at 6-10, right? So you go from 12-4 to 6-10 with the same roster. So let's not sit here and act like the Raiders were contenders when Jack Del Rio got fired, because that most certainly was not the case. So the biggest thing is this year is the year for me, obviously. I said the same thing last year, but it doesn't matter what the fuck we think anyway, because John Gruden's going to have a job with the Raiders. Simple as that. Right, we've covered that before, too. So, what about you, Vic? What's the grade that you would give him?
You know, I've read the articles. I've been seeing a lot of C's, man. I don't know why we're getting a lot of C's, but I'm gonna give it
the first pick, man.
I'm gonna give it a solid B, though. I'm gonna agree with you, Mariano.
Yeah.
If the first 2 picks were swapped, people would be giving us A's. Is all I gotta say. I love we addressed the defensive side of the ball. We got that all squared away. Would have loved the D tackle, but whatever. At this point, we got a D end. That's cool too.
We got a deep veteran D line or D tackle, interior D line.
That's fine. You know, it's not a big need. We could address it next year or whatever. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Loved all the secondary. We was getting burnt.
And it's not like there weren't really any dogs on the defentive line.
Yeah, it was a horrible draft for defensive tackle
for this year.
Yeah.
So I agree. We probably can address that next year.
Next year is fine, yeah. But I love it. I'm giving it a B. Solid draft. We addressed every position. We got the one position handled on the offensive side of the ball, and home run slammed all the defensive side of the ball is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And can't wait for the season to start. Can't wait for all the workouts to start. See all the work getting gelled together and put together.
Oh man,
preseason
John Brown.
Starts. Man, I love it.
It's gonna be exciting. Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, Henry Ruggs.
I need these next 3 months to
Hunter Renfrow, bro.
Woo.
We have the talent, man.
It's gonna be fun.
The talent. We're gonna have a few years under everyone's belt. They've been playing with each other for a while.
And the stadium is now going to be open this season.
Oh, I'm going.
We there.
I'm going.
We're going to be there for sure.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
We'll make a weekend out of it.
I made 1, 2, maybe even 3. 3 times.
Let's get it. All right, man. So that's it. That's all we got for this episode of the Real Raiders podcast. We've been gone for 2 weeks, so we haven't been really active on the page or none of that. I was supposed to put out an episode last week, but I fucked up, and it was my birthday and stuff. Excuse me, sorry. I didn't come out with the concept. I missed last week, but we're back. That's all that matters. We're gonna be more consistent. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that's been rocking with us. We still get likes and views on the videos, even though I'm not posting nothing or doing nothing on that page. So I appreciate we got people following us still. So we're back now, so we're going to keep the momentum going even stronger.
Back like we never left, Vic.
If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share,
smash that shit.
Share it with your granny, your best friend, all
mama,
of the people.
Your baby mama, side. Never mind.
Yeah. Let's not go there. But we really appreciate all the support. It's been love. It's been night and day from the fantasy channel that we have to here.
Yeah.
And it really feels like family being a part of Raider Nation. So thank you guys. That's it, man. Real Raiders, and we're out of here.